Okay, let's test this one. I have to go with the headset because my mom's talking on the phone, and for some reason I'm getting a background pickup. Now, the what we're covering today is part 3 of basic food supply for the long winter. Uh, part 3, garden and produce. Now, we're going to separate the two. Garden, you should have something growing in your backyard. Could be a full scale garden. It could be budget bushcraft and RV, like Uncle Alan has. A container garden, raised beds, small items. Okay, won't get through the winter, and it won't really provide all the food you need, but it will help. All right. Me, I do it for experimentation. I experiment on growth rates, fertilizers, growing, how big a root system I'm working on. I'm doing all sorts of things. And I find out what's toxic, what's not toxic, and what's going on with the soils. And also, it's a test bed for different grow mediums. Okay? People buy soil mixtures. I make my own or buy certain bags of soil, test them out, see how they do against real life. That's my patio garden. Garden number 2 is I have it on my nephew's farm. Uh, Never had brain damage. Nephew's farm, which is about an acre. I put around out there. He has irrigation water. I go out there. I get my vegetables, whatever I need. Not a problem. It's hidden from most people. It's not in my backyard. It's safe. It's in the boonies area. So I don't have to worry about predators, two-legged, four-legged, or whatever. And it's perfectly safe. Why do I do that? Because one time I had a garden, a nice truck garden, 5 acres, totally stripped because I opened my mouth. I told people about it. I watched a whole season's worth of food disappear. And everybody thought that was funny, except for me, because I was living off of that and I didn't think it was funny. Okay, so you have your garden and you have the other garden, the secret garden or guerrilla garden, whatever, set aside, and you got everything going. That's 2 gardens, all right? I always have a third and fallback. I know a lot of truck farmers in my area. I have a friend down the street. He has a small truck farm. This year, he lost his contract to the local grocery store. And what he's doing is he has a small stand. He sells strawberries, but that income doesn't help that much. So what Uncle Alan does is I'm getting my other crops in. He has a few acres he's not using. He's growing stuff for me. And then all I have to do is call him up and talk with him and see how the plants are doing and everything. And once everything is harvested, put it in a box and drop it off at my doorstep. When the season's done, I have nothing to worry about. That's your garden part. That's 3 of them. You have your patio or backyard. You have your hidden secret garden. And you see how they're getting bigger? Because the first garden was in your backyard, kind of small. And then you have your bigger garden that's kind of hidden. And you have a third garden, your backup garden. So I cover everything there and nothing to worry about. I keep these videos plain and simple. I don't do effects. I don't do flashy things and thumbnails and stuff. We don't have the time. I like to do it, but nobody ever listens to old Uncle Al, and it's all right. You don't have any time left. Okay, produce. A lot of you guys are not thinking ahead. What are you growing? Will it count as calorie? Now, um, asymmetrical preparedness always talks about it, and he should do a video on it. I like his videos, it's very pleasurable, but there's some things he's kind of missed, so it's all right. Now, Uncle Al does have to warn people produce, okay? And what do you need for a long winter? Hard shell vegetables, which are squashes, butternut, acorn, and kobocha. Those are the big three hard shell squashes that you keep over winter. Number The other one is a pumpkin. I prefer sugar babies. They're small, they're hard, they're durable. Not the jack-o'-lantern type. I want something to make pies or food. Okay? People didn't understand. That's why the pilgrims starved their first winter. Couldn't understand that. Until the Indians taught the three sisters and they have a nice feast, and years later the pilgrims killed the Indians. Now, another form of produce that everybody misses at the grocery store are root crops. Carrots are the easiest, followed by turnips, followed by rutabagas. I haven't seen a millennial eat a rutabaga. They don't know what a rutabaga is. It's going to save your life. Parsnips. You should already have these planned and going to be planted within the next month or two. But it depends on the weather too, because they will bolt. And you want to stockpile them for maybe anywhere from 6 to 7 months of a hard winter. But a lot of people look at me like, produce? What are you talking about, Uncle Al? I get tired. Okay, so you have your food supplies and you have it all set. I think I did a video on preserving and stuff, canning, freezing, smoking, salting, drying, and we talked about that. Now we have to be very, very careful on produce. If you don't know what you're doing, and if you don't have either a cold room or a root cellar, you're going to be screwed. All right. Now, a lot of people don't forgot these things, and you're going to end up eating your neighbor's dog, cats, whatever is available. So don't forget, you could do fresh produce. You got to if you have no other options, you don't have a garden, go to the grocery store and you look for hard shell things. You look for root crops. Okay, you could store them fairly easily in an apartment. I did it before. Carrots, you put them in a box of wet sand or damp sand. Same thing with parsnips. Same thing with turnips. Same thing with rutabagas. Okay, beets. It's not rocket science. DOD or DOE or D. That on YouTube. You know the guy. It's not rocket science. Fairly easy. Okay, you go to the grocery store. A lot of disaster movies, TV shows, they always show that the produce section never got hit. And when last couple months ago, nobody ever touched the produce section. And I was kind of looking at people like, are these people crazy? And then the word got around, and then finally all the produce emptied out. And then, Uncle Alan didn't have to go shopping because he already thought ahead and bought stuff. Okay, so you make sure you have some place to store produce. And also, make sure you have not one garden, but 3 gardens. Okay, and I'll catch you later. I'm going to do another video, and then I got a big one coming up. Bye, folks.